compete at their chance to rant about anything they want for 30 seconds on national television. And for all of you guys watching from home, play along and weigh in with your answers. Tweet me at Aaliyah Jasmine and use that hashtag #PlayWithAJ. Okay, let's meet today's studio players. First up is AB, a music producer and sports junkie from the On Blast podcast crew. Oh, yeah. Next up is Megan Ann Wilson. She's an NBA and NFL stylist and image consultant, as well as the fashion director for the basketball lifestyle site Dunk 360. And finally, we have Tom Yanni, who's a story editor at TSN and the editor-in-chief of Unsportsmanlike.ca. Give it up for Tom!
Come on!
I'm also really excited to say that Bobbleheads Canada has added a little more to play for. If a blogger here can win their 30 seconds of fame 3 times, you will not only get to hijack the MTV airwaves, but I will also send you home with a collectible Play with AJ bobblehead. Here's the cool thing is that Megan, I think, is a 2-time returning champion, aren't you?
2 times.
You could be going home tonight with a bobblehead.
Yeah.
All right, competitors, are you ready? Round number 1. UFC champion Ronda Rousey is in talks to join the cast of Fast and the Furious 7. Who would you love to see in this movie, AB?
Shout out, first of all, to this girl. I had to Google her. I don't know who she is. But real talk, Lewis Hamilton, first ever man of color to not only be the F1 champion, but be an F1 driver. He knows his cars, but for a guy that's really into cars, I don't really watch those movies. But shout out to Lewis Hamilton. Get it.
Cool, Megan.
All right, I think Lewis Hamilton is just a mail-in vote because, of course, you're going to pick a race car driver. Like, come on, son. You have to go with someone like Kobe Bryant. He is so competitive and so crazy. He would get this pimped-out Black Mamba, Ferrari, Lamborghini. He'd be in there, and he'd have Vanessa get naked on the top, and he's dope.
Kobe. Megan votes for Kobe. Tom.
3 worlds. 3 words. Meta world peace. And, there are 2 reasons. First of all, he might incite the Mouse at the Palace version 2.0 and just go after Stallone and Dolph Lundgren, which would be hilarious. And secondly, the idea of world peace, blowing shit up, would be pretty funny too. So I'm going with him.
I love that. I would definitely watch that Fast and Furious. All right, this story is absolutely ridiculous. The NFL is banning purses from stadiums for fans. Instead, they're providing female fans with see-through plastic bags to carry around their belongings. I'm infuriated with this. How should female NFL fans react to this rule, AB?
I learned at a very young age, you don't mess with a woman's purse, okay? Number 1. And I don't know if it's a safety thing or people sneaking shit in. Look, if you want to get something into the stadium, you're going to sneak it in some way or another. Like, if I want to bring my homemade sausage, I'm going to put it in my girl's pants. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to take people away from going to the stadium. They're going to stay home and watch it at home.
And then you're going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Word.
Megan.
Okay, obviously, I'm pissed off about this rule, too. But I think women should feel both enraged and also look at this as a time to, put a little money in a purse. I want a Chanel see-through purse. Now I have a reason to buy it. But most importantly, the Yankees tried this before after 9/11, and they lifted it recently. It's not going to last.
Stop. Where are you supposed to put your tampons for everyone to see? That's stupid. That shit great. Tom.
All right, the answer, the way they should feel is insulted because basically they're being made to treat their purses and bags like dog. It's actually going into plastic bags. They probably have to flip it inside out and pick it up and drop it in like that Wiser's commercial. It's stupid. If you're going to have it in a bag, why don't you just carry it anyways?
And I would like to point out to the NFL that as a girl who brings a purse to a game, it's usually half filled with the guy I'm with stuff anyways. Pete Rose, who was banned from baseball for life for gambling, said, quote, "I should have picked alcohol, I should have picked drugs, or I should have picked beating up my wife or girlfriend, because if you do those 3, you get a second chance." Is there some truth to what Pete Rose said?
I think the comment was emotionally charged. I think Homeboy is snorting his Viagra, not taking it right. I understand that, sure, some people are getting second chances, and he's still top into the record books. Like, if they're going to put Mark McGuire in, they should consider putting Pete Rose in, to be honest with you. But he needs to take his medication and cool down.
Megan?
Well, was it offensive? Yes. Should he have apologized? Probably, but he was right. The reality of the situation is the MLB is all about being America's pastime, wholesome, all of this. That's why they have more of a problem with gambling and PEDs than they do with actual problems with players. It's right.
Time is up. Tom.
All right, so I'm with him on the first two because drug addiction, that's a disease. Alcoholism, that's a disease. And obviously gambling, that's a disease. But hitting your wife is not a disease. That just makes you a dick. And if he thinks that people get off easy for that, just ask Ike Turner or Chris Brown how easy they got off for that. Not so much.
Truths.
Well, I mean, Chris Brown's debatable. But that being said, I am going to send AB to the shame zone. I love that AB has become a Boston Bruin and is now attacking the fans back. All right, let's move on to round number 2. Infamous Boston mobster Whitey Bulger is going to prison but wants to keep his 1986 Montreal Canadiens Stanley Cup ring that he acquired years ago. We can only assume that a former player sold him the ring. Name which athlete that you think would sell their championship ring the easiest for quick cash. Megan.
I have to go with Andrew Bynum. I'm honestly shocked it's not on the market yet. Because quite frankly, if there's anyone who doesn't give a in the entire NBA, it's Andrew Bynum. Look at his hair. He sits on the bench. He bowls. He doesn't care about basketball. He just wants money to get girls to salsa with. That's all he cares about. I'm saying Andrew Bynum.
Ouch! He does have a great salsa and he does have great hair.
He
but
does.
Tom?
All right, there's only one answer to this question, and it's former Giants linebacker Lawrence Taylor, because he won 2 Super Bowl rings. Already sold one for $230,000. And anybody that's selling a ring needs money. This guy loves hookers and he loves cocaine. He needs to feed that habit. That's the only way he's going to feed that habit. He's selling that ring. He's already done it once.
Wow! That was really good and really tough, and I don't know who to pick, but I think I'm going to go with Tom Yanni. I'm sorry.
Oh, no!
You know I'm a fan of Megan's blog, and Megan, you have to come back and try to get that bobblehead. But right now, Tom Yanni, you are the winner, and this is your 30 seconds of fame.
All right, first of all, respect to both of you guys. That was awesome. Okay, I just want to say, as a sports fan living in Toronto, I f***ing hate this city. The Toronto Maple Leafs have the longest playoff, they had the longest playoff drought until this year. They got the longest Stanley Cup playoff drought. The Blue Jays haven't been to the playoffs in 20 years. The Raptors have won 1 series in their entire existence. My 20s have been wasted away following teams that suck, and I'm just bitter about it. And I'm hungry. I haven't eaten in a while. I'm hungry and I'm bitter. And I can't believe how bad Toronto sports is, and I just needed to get that out. I feel better now.
Tom Yanni, everyone, I love this guy. Make sure to follow him on Twitter. I do have to do a big shout out for the CFL, though, because the Toronto Argos did bring home the Grey Cup this year. That being said, you're going to love this. Make sure to watch this, because we have one of the Toronto Maple Leafs here on our show. Apparently, one of the guys on the team make the entire team listen to Katy Perry in the locker room. Find out who after the break.